Balance for Blind Adults, Working Blind series, Tina's Story. In downtown Toronto, traffic flows past the Royal Ontario Museum. Tina walks around the busy city.
So I live in Toronto, so I travel to and from work by TTC just outside of downtown, and that's on purpose. So all of my jobs have been where I can travel. So today, the TTC app is fantastic. You can map where you're going, you can use Google Maps and figure out how long it's going to take. Google Street View lets you see where you're going to go. I carry a pocket monocular so I can read street signs, and with smartphones too, you can zoom in, you can see where you're going, you can do bus routes.
She sits in an office.
My name is Tina Sarkar-Thompson. I'm the Assistant Vice President of Human Resources at the Royal Ontario Museum, ROM. I've been here for just over 2 years.
She smiles.
One of the things that appealed to me about HR was the variety of things that you get to do in this field. So I like the variety. Every day is not the same, and I like being able to interact with people. I have ocular albinism. I don't have any pigment, so my hair is very fair, and I have very sensitive to light. In addition to that, my vision is around 20/200, which is about 10% of what somebody with 20/20. We go up many floors and down many floors, and what the public sees is a fraction of the space that we have behind the scenes. So, and I have to admit, even 2 years later, I still get lost. And sometimes there are places that I haven't gone. So I will ask whoever I'm going to see, okay, so when I get off this elevator, if I get off these stairs, do I go? So I ask for pretty explicit directions, and my colleagues are great because most of the time somebody will be like, okay, I'll come meet you in the hallway. In terms of assistive technology at work, I use 2 large screen monitors, 24 inches. I think typical here is a bit smaller, but let them know that this is what I needed, and it provided it. My work phone and my personal phone are larger screen smartphones. I'm fortunate in terms of my vision is such that typically I don't use a cane for mobility, but do carry one when we travel outside of the country, just because you don't know what kind of environment you're going to be in. When I first started working, I used large print software. I used to use Zoom Text, but now with the evolution of Office products, the built-in magnification in Office helps me to get by. I've always felt that technology has leveled the playing field. One of the things I remember thinking and saying a number of years ago was like, oh, as the baby boomers get older, there'll be more technology that is adaptive. And it's so true. I would not have thought 20 years ago that I could do so many things with my phone, even as simple as voice to text. One thing that has really changed my life at work has been generative AI. I'm piloting the AI capabilities of Teams, and so we've been using that for the last few months in terms of note-taking for meeting notes, and it's a game changer.
Tina uses AI.
So there was a period, it was about a 3-4 year period where I applied to over 200 jobs, and I had something like 49 interviews. But perseverance is the key. As somebody with low vision, I feel it's important to disclose to my employer about my vision and let them know what sort of accommodation I need. That being said, I also recognize that disclosing is a very personal, individual decision, and there isn't a one-size-fits-all or a right or wrong answer. But where I do feel really strongly about is disclosing once you have the job, because the accommodations that employers have in place are there to help you as an employee to do your best job and for you to succeed. Because the challenge is, if you don't disclose and you have some challenges related to your vision, they could be misperceived as performance issues when it has nothing to do with that. If I were talking to an employer that's looking to hire people with visual disability and they had advice, I would encourage them to ask questions. Again, there's lots of organizations out there and supports for employers. The biggest challenge is that you can tell that people don't want to ask questions because they're worried. They're worried about, well, how is that going to, what's the perception as either me as the individual who's asking the question or me as the employer? But the reality is people don't know what they don't know. And I think that we as individuals with disabilities and as HR folks need to have more open and candid conversations, because the thing is, if you know how to better support people, then you'll be able to do that.
Tina sits in her office at the ROM. Video production Danny Pham, project director Christina Peruzzi, executive producer Deborah Gold. Special thanks to Tina Sarkar-Thompson and the Royal Ontario Museum. WorkingBlind.ca. Copyright Balance for Blind Adults 2025.